modern motherhood is a lot of consumption because we are bombarded with everyone else's lives all the time. And as moms, I think that's one of the best parts of our job. We really are constantly creating. God designed us to create. He created us, and when we create, we tap into so much happiness and fulfillment. I've decided I have consumed enough and it's time to start doing. My bathroom towels need replacing. And so I have spent the last few days scrolling on my phone, all the options, looking at Pinterest for inspiration. I love Pinterest. I know, I'm outdated. I don't even use Instagram. But I was scrolling Pinterest, making sure I'm like, oh, what kind of style am I wanting? Like this, if I'm gonna spend the money, I want it to be on something that I really love, right? Like the big picture, what do I want? Scrolling Amazon, World Market, that's one of my favorite stores. Checking Target, because last time I bought towels from Target. I have just like been in this mode, just taking it all in. All the input, bringing it all in. And guess what? Like I'm no further ahead than when I started, believe it or not. Unfortunately, I have so many good ideas. I have so many options. And I've been in that consumption mode. And yet, oh my gosh, like I have made zero progress. Isn't that crazy? It's pretty wild to me. And so I've just decided today, I'm just going to take some action. Because sometimes we got to just take action. Buy some towels. Stop wasting so much of my time and energy and brain power into towels. And I could totally beat myself up. Like, that is so frivolous. That's so worldly. Towels don't matter. I disagree. As the homemaker, I feel that I'm setting the atmosphere and tone of the home, even with things like towels. Does it affect my family? No, I don't think so in a huge way. It really affects me, though. My happiness, my satisfaction, my fulfillment, those purchasing choices, let's say, actually do matter to me. That's why I spent the time. Like, it was intentional. And it was kind of a fun hobby, you know? It's not every day I'm replacing towels. Let me think about this. Like, it's totally fine. I just noticed the difference of being in consumption mode versus just taking action. Because I could stay stuck here for a long time, honestly. Like, I really could. I could just keep consuming, keep scrolling. And I think when we hear, you know, I've consumed enough or you've consumed enough, because honestly, it's a trend right now. I feel like a lot of people are talking about that, which I love that. It's a good thing to be talking about. The modern world, modern motherhood is a lot of consumption because we are bombarded with everyone else's lives all the time. If you are on Instagram, how much time do you spend on Instagram every day? How much time am I spending even just watching shows or even, eating even? Like, I don't know, there's a lot of different forms of consumption. And to just recognize, am I still creating something in my life? Am I taking action? In my case, like just not taking any action. Is that the way I want to live? No. Because God designed us to create. He created us. And when we create, we tap into so much happiness and fulfillment because we're creating something. And as moms, I think that's one of the best parts of our job. We really are constantly creating. Yes, we created human beings, which is miraculous. But also, we are creating an atmosphere. We're creating rhythms and routines for our families. We're creating a family culture. We're creating a family identity. So much of what we do is creating, as long as we are kind of seeing it that way and framing what we're doing in that way, which I think is it sheds a whole different light on what we're doing. Motherhood can be really repetitive. It can be pretty exhausting. We can kind of feel like we're not doing much with our lives. Like, I definitely felt that way years and years ago. I would just have these huge moments. My husband would talk about work, and I would just think to myself, like, what am I even doing? What am I doing with my life? Like, I'm not even interacting with other adults, and I have no stories to tell other than, like, what the kids did that day. And if people ask what I did with my day, I was like, same old. Like, went to the store, went to the park. And for what should be the most joyful way of me spending my time, felt very underwhelming. And I honestly, like, I feel bad to admit it, but a little embarrassing, honestly, because I didn't feel like I was doing much, which is so sad, because now, of course, I really recognize how much we are doing. We are shaping souls. I mean, God is so pleased with what we're doing as stay-at-home moms, because we are constantly creating in a really big way and a really important way, I would say. And it's really easy to get sucked into just taking in what everyone else is doing. And unfortunately for me, it impacts me in a huge way. It impacts my confidence. It impacts my just feelings about motherhood, because I'm trying to measure up constantly. I'm trying to do as much as this other mom, or do this as well as her, and I'm comparing all of my mediocre efforts with theirs, and it's really sad. And of course, like, God wants us to be kind to ourselves. He wants us to value our efforts, and we can't always do that if we're constantly taking in so much of that input that the world is giving us. I even think back to, this is another consumption that one could argue is good. I used to really love parenting books. My degree is in human development. Always wanted to be a mom. Parenting has just been my world. Always. Like, that was my universe. And I loved finding new parenting approaches, or seeing what the latest research was, figuring out, oh, there's probably a better way to do this thing. I'm probably not doing this thing quite right. So I'd be reading parenting books in my free time. Very good, right? A good use of my time, I would say. Educational, all these things. And at the end of the day, I would find myself realizing I've been trying to find an answer to this certain thing. Let's say bedtime. Let's say bedtime was feeling hard. Maybe my kids were coming out of their rooms or something, and I'm just like, okay, there must be an answer. Go online, read some books, right? Find all this information. And there were times, just like my towels, where I would find myself having made no progress, and weeks had gone by, and I've yet to even try anything. Have you ever had that happen? Maybe it's just me. But all of that consuming led to zero creating or doing. Like, I wasn't doing anything. And so I just think that's what we have to be mindful of. I am all for doing research. I'm never going to buy something, rarely, without doing some research, without doing some comparing for pricing and where I should buy it from and all the different things. I totally will keep doing that. I think it's more about putting a limitation on that. And same with if we're scrolling. Maybe you enjoy scrolling, maybe you like keeping up on trends or on news or on other people's lives or your friends, whatever the reasons are that you're consuming. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I would never tell somebody, you should just stop social media. Like, it's a choice I made. I don't know what's best for you. You know what's best for you. So it's like, if you love that, great, do it. You have your reasons, you like your reasons, you do that. I just think, for me, it's very helpful when I put some limitations on that. Maybe I'm going to research bedtime for 1 week, and then I'm going to commit to just trying something. Or maybe I'm going to scroll for 20 minutes, and then I'm going to get up and cook dinner, or whatever the thing is, to bring in that actually doing, even if that's just playing with our kids, or like there's just something about the act of really moving forward, of doing something. And we know faith requires action, because it's easy to be like, well, I still don't know what I should do about bedtime. And that's when we get to tap into the real kind of inspiration, I would say. I mean, I scroll Pinterest for inspiration, right? Good ideas. But really, we can tap into this more personalized kind of inspiration that comes from God. He can tell us what to try. We can pray. We can really ponder, think, certainly bring in all the good information. We've got to study it out in our mind first. And then we take a step. And we just try it. And for me, I'm going to buy the towels. Simple as that. I'm going to buy the towels and move on with my life. And keep showing up as the mom that I really want to be. It's so funny. My mind has been distracted by towels. It's so embarrassing, but it's true. It's just really been on my mind. And it's led to other things like, the kitchen. Christmas is coming up. My husband's going to want ideas. I should look at towels for the kitchen too. What kind of towels do I want there? Because I kind of want it to coordinate, right? Like, it can get a little crazy, and we can stay in that consumption mode for too long, to the point that it's distracting us from our life and from creating a life. I mean, that's what we're doing with our daily choices, right? I'm creating the life that I'm living. Don't compare yourself to me. I don't know. After this, you're probably like, I'm way better than you. That's fine. I don't want you to think that I have the answers for you, because I don't. Between you and the Lord, you will figure out what's best for you. Maybe notice consumption habits, right? Or notice creation opportunities. So don't mother like me, mother like you.